Yo, shout out to the Most High. It's always eyes, even when our Lord status LDs. Also known Lawrence the One for another episode of I Need to Know. And my special guest, introduce yourself.
My name is Thug Mrs.
Okay.
The Thug Mrs.
Uh-huh. You
yes,
know what
sir.
Hey, look, this is the first time I've seen her, but I bet you if I seen you before, I say, your teeth still white. For sure. Okay, check this out, though. Before I start, I like to ask all my guests, where did you get your name from?
So I used to go by 9 Millie. My name's Camille. So they call me 9 Millie. They say I
had a girlfriend named Camille. You finer than my Camille.
Oh,
but keep going.
Thank you. Thank you. Got me blushing.
Okay.
So I linked up with Bo, with C-Bo and West Coast Mafia, AWOL Records years ago. And I was thugged out. Like, and they was like, man, little bitch, you thug. You Thug Mrs. And the name just kind of stuck.
Okay.
And it just became more than a name. It became a brand. It became a way of life, and it got all tatted up and the chains, and I used to run around with guns. Like, I was wild.
What can I say one thing? They call me Sal Boy C, Bo for sure.
That's my brother. Shout out Bo. Shout out
to Bo. You know what?
I just got off the phone with him. Yeah.
You know what's crazy though?
Name me.
You know what's crazy though? Shout out to Bo because I always talk about the most underrated rappers of all time. And C-Bo, by the general consensus, is one of them. Shout out to Bo.
Say that. Bo, I love you. Yeah. That's who gave me my name. I rock with West Coast Mafia. And I still, matter of fact, I'm about to just put some out real quick, but me and Pizzo got a new EP that's about to drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you spoke on that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you spoke on that. Now, we said that, first off, I'd like to ask you where you got your name from. We covered that. Yes. But then you mentioned another name, so why don't you go off a list of some of the rap names that you actually had to go through before you became the Thug Mrs.?
So you mean my personal rap names?
For sure.
Oh, it was real simple. It was either 9 Millie or Thug Mrs. That was it. I know some people do like a lot of, experiment with different names and stuff like that, but nah, I've been thuggy for I'm not gonna say how long because it's gonna date me, but a long time.
Okay, well, shit, it ain't nothing wrong with being dated. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some age around this motherfucker because in the West Coast. Okay.
I'm seasoned.
Okay, do they say you marinated? Hey, you know what I'm about to say?
What you finna say?
I like that.
Oh, you know.
So check.
It's nothing like a seasoned woman. I'm telling you.
Okay, so I gotta ask you this: where did your hip hop experience start?
Beginning since I was since I was a baby. I've always been into hip hop.
Okay.
I was that little toddler running around in diapers with a brush in my hand, thinking I was Queen Latifah or Salt and Pepper. Those were my idols. That's who groomed me, and taught me that women can do hip hop because pre them, we didn't really have that many women. It was a male it still is, but as far as what we saw primarily was all men, So growing up, that's who, those were my queens, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, TLC, Left Eye, you know what I mean? Like those, the Brat.
Yeah.
I thought I was the Brat for a minute.
Okay.
Like you couldn't tell me. I'm like, that's my twin sister. I used to try to do my hair like her. I used to try to rap like her. Like,
hey, yeah. Hell yeah.
I love that woman. She's an idol. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. You know what I'm saying? She got a whole bunch of ass and shit back there. You know what I'm saying?
No, the Brat the shit. But that's where my love for hip hop started, and then being introduced to artists like Pac and just being in the same space as them, like changed my whole outlook on the reality of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like the depth of it, the artistry, like the politics, the things, the real life shit you can cover through the sector of music. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, do you believe that artists have an obligation to speak out against social injustices?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you're given a platform, there's nothing wrong with having fun and talking about partying and all that. That's a big factor as well. That's life, right? But I think that if you're on a certain level and you're given that microphone, that platform, you should be speaking on things that affect you and your community and your family. You know what I mean? It's like Yeah.
You know, that's dope because, you know, I like to ask a lot of the same questions to different artists because even though that we share this same space, a lot of people have different views on the same thing.
For sure. And I get it. And I know that politics and religion and all that can be taboo and be sensitive subjects for a lot of people. But shit, if we don't speak on it, who will?
Yeah, that's right.
If we're not protecting ourselves, who will?
That's right.
If we ain't speaking out for what's right, who will?
Yeah.
Because it ain't these other people doing it for us.
Yeah.
So I think that we should go back kind of to how hip hop really started, and that was covering these topics.
Okay.
And we doing the opposite. We rapping about killing our people now. Like this shit is backwards. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. Like we need to kind of take notes from our legends, you know what I mean, and from our creators, and kind of take a page from their book and get back to this real shit.
You know what? You know what's funny? I'm glad you said that because you know it takes a certain level of maturity to get to that point. Mm-hmm. Do you have kids?
I do.
Okay. I felt the parenthood coming out.
Yes, that's me in my mommy mode. I'm worried about my kids, you know, and they generation and stuff.
You said kids? Is that what it is?
Kid.
Okay.
Kid. I mean, I got my step babies, but
okay, that's good.
I'm a proud single mama. I got a little girl who's my twin, and I'm concerned for her.
You mean it's two of y'all?
Yeah. I mean,
y'all shaking Callie up?
Oh, we tearing it up. That's my little mini me. She calls herself Baby Thuggy.
You know what I'm about to say? You know what I'm about to say?
I like that. Oh, that's gonna be the key phrase of the evening, y'all. That's the key phrase. We need a bell every time he says that. Ding.
You know what's crazy though? Because Filthy Rich gave me one. You know what he gave me?
What he gave me?
Man, where we at, man? Where we at? Shout out to Filthy, man.
Yeah, we were just playing his stuff. Shout out to Filthy, yes.
So you saying that, okay, I heard you say that you started off, you know what I'm saying, like since you were young, that you always wanted to do hip hop.
Always.
So what age or how long ago or when did you record your first song?
High school with D-Shot, 40, Bila, and this guy I was dating, Robert, back in the days, and he's first cousins with them, and invited me to a session that they had in the hillside in Vallejo.
Are you from Vallejo?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out
born
to the
and raised Vallejo. Well, not born. I'm born in Inglewood, but been in Vallejo forever.
Okay.
So I'm loyal to my soil. I'm 707 all day.
Yeah.
And showed up to that session and ended up recording my first song, and it was like love at first sight, the saying, you know, love at first sound. Like I was like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I want to do this I went home, told my mama, she was like, oh, you want to be a rapper for real? I'm like,
yeah.
Goddamn right. My family was like, this little bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, my mama, she was an attorney. You know, my father did insurance claims. You know, my family are all, you know, doctors and you know, and I want to be a rapper.
Hey, look,
my family's bougie.
Are they like this?
Just nose to the sky. I can't stand none of them.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't shit. Clowning my own family. No, I love my family. But yeah, I was the black sheep. I'm still the black sheep.
You know what's crazy about you being a black sheep? You showed up wearing all white.
Yeah, hello. And I don't feel bad being it. I'm proud. I'm proud doing what I do.
You know what's crazy though? Because the black sheep is the one that actually stands out the most. And since they're so different, they always going to be successful in their own right just because they're in their own lane.
Determined to show people that it's like, every time somebody tells me no, you're not going to do it, the more I'm motivated to be like, watch me.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it. That's why I don't think anybody should give up on their dreams, no matter what your creed is, your age, regardless. I'm going hard.
And the black sheep is in their own lane. I mean, just think about it. If everybody's a doctor and a lawyer, right? They're actually in competition with each other, right? To see who could go the furthest, or they're all doing the same thing. But if somebody said, okay, well, I just want to be a janitor or something like that, right. Go own their own business or something like that, they're in their own lane and they're the pioneer for the people that actually came behind them.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And I'm my family, I look at them, they're successful in their own rights, but a lot of them be looking miserable. Or there's just a lot of people who do what they do, they make good money and they're miserable. And they're like, Thug, you ain't making all this good money right now. And I'm like, but you know what? I'm happy as fuck.
Yeah.
It wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Yeah.
I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. I get to meet y'all, sit around good people and talk real shit. And you know what? If I die broke tomorrow, at least I did everything I wanted to do.
Come on now.
No regrets.
Come on now.
No regrets.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
None.
So I got to ask you the question of the week real quick.
What's up?
You said that you from 707 Vallejo. Mm-hmm. And then somebody was on my Instagram page, right? No, Facebook. And they talked about Pittsburgh and Antioch. Is that the Bay Area?
No. No. Is it? He's like, yeah. Where you from? You from there?
So it's...
Why you look at me like that?
Somebody...
It's a water...
Well,
really? Really?
Because...
It does, huh? Is that technically...
Well, you know what somebody said? They made it very simple and plain. They said if the BART goes there, it's the Bay Area. Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Sure.
So is Vallejo the Bay Area?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely. It stops at Vallejo, though, because the second you hit the... Because we do have the water touching.
So
we
is
ain't
there...
got BART.
So
we
is,
ain't got BART.
Watch this. So is Arizona the West Coast?
Yeah. Nah, you asking the wrong person. No.
Well, somebody said it ain't near no water. How's it gonna be the West Coast if it ain't near no water?
Well, the West.
This is what my god brother Knowledge, born Allah. Shout out to my nigga from New Jersey. He said Arizona.
Look, they like not at all. Like, everybody out here like nope.
He said it ain't the West Coast because it ain't. What coast is it on? L.
It is the West Coast. No. I don't know.
Okay, well, you know, something to think about. One of those things that make you go, For sure. So what was that song that you said that you recorded with all them know? You didn't say what the name was.
I have no idea. I don't even know what project it was released on. Hell, I don't even know if ever.
And shout out to your ex, Robert, for even plugging that up for you.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, you got to give Robert his. You got to give. I mean, Robert. You got to give Robert. You got to give Robert his props.
Robert. No, I'm grateful. He introduced me to a lot of things when I was younger and trying to get into the music. He did help me get started.
Okay, so how do you best describe your style? How do you best describe being Thug Mrs.?
That's a good question. My style is like a mashup. It depending on which day you catch me, I think that's kind of where the name Thug and then Mrs. It's a collision of two different characters.
Oh, so the Thug is different than the Mrs.
Absolutely. Oh. So if you listen to my albums, there'll be Thug songs and then Mrs. songs. The Mrs. are more pop. They're more up-tempo, more catchy. And then Thug is me going in, being real lyrical. My voice, I deepen my voice. Yeah. I get into a whole different character.
So, excuse me. So, check this out. You got a song called She On Me.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I want to know. When you say she on me, now, let me just dissect what I thought and what it could mean. Now, it was a man singing a voice.
Yeah.
So, was you on him or was he saying that a chick was on you?
Oh, so you ain't seen the video.
I seen a little bit, but everybody has women in their video now. I'm asking you this.
So it's about having a threesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's your thing. Or
it's not just my thing. Oh, Lord.
You like ladies?
I like ladies.
Do you like men too?
I like men too.
So you're bisexual?
Absolutely.
So,
and proud.
So watch this. So is the thug the straight and the... No, the missus is the straight and the thug is the guy. So when you mash
Not
it together...
Not the guy, just a more dominant female. I will never be a man, don't want to be a man.
Gotcha.
I love being a woman. I love being feminine. I have my makeup, my hair done. I get dressed up. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. A man is a man and he should be treated such as I'm still a woman. I'm a woman that loves women. Gotcha.
So, okay. So, do you want to get back to this, or can we just talk about it while it's hot?
No. Let's run it back. What else you got?
Okay, for sure. So, She On Me. What was the other name of that song that had that the Spanish name, Cuelo something?
Mueve tu culo.
What does that mean?
Shake your ass. It was my little stripper song.
Okay, gotcha.
My little stripper homies, they was like, man, Thug, you ain't got no music for us to be. So I got some girls that that follow me, and they wanted me to make a song for them for the strip club for them to dance to.
Gotcha.
I was like, I got something for you.
You got a big personality.
Thank you. He calls me Mighty Mouse. That's my nickname.
You know what? I was thinking, who the fuck does she remind me of? For Showski.
Mighty Mouse? That's who I remind you of?
No, Mighty Maisha.
Oh, Lord.
Something like that, though, you know, because sometimes little people have big personalities and stuff like that.
Right.
So this is what I want to know. Do you ever have stage fright?
Yeah.
Speak to that.
Everybody gets that. I think that's what kind of keeps you in check, you know what I mean? And keeps you on point. And once you lose that and get too comfortable, and I think that's in anything that you do, you start slipping.
Want me to tell you a rapper that's from the Bay Area that does not have stage fright? It amazes the fuck out of me. Stunner Man 02.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't know what's going on in his head, though.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Or you just learn how to not show it so much.
I just think that's his super strength.
I think that every time you go out there, though, or when you're preparing for it, you still get that tickle in your stomach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, you don't see me like sweating and like losing my mind. I mean, you see, I'm naturally comfortable in front of people and cameras.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always a natural thing. But you asked me, do I get maybe not as much stage fright, but nervous, excited.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I get real excited.
Because it's levels. Like, I get a little nervous and stuff like that, but not in a setting like this. But if it was a bunch of people in here that I may have not known or stuff like that,
right,
or something like that, I might get a little nervous or something like that.
Right.
And there's degrees to it.
There's degrees to it, too. Because if it's like a big-ass crowd,
I was going to ask you
look
that.
out, and it's like a sea of people, you kind of at first go, please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. Don't forget your word. Like, you start, you get in your head a little bit.
Well, you know what? I was going to ask you that because that's a great question I got to ask you. Do you get more nervous in front of big crowds or small crowds?
I think big crowds.
Okay.
Because I feel I could be more intimate with smaller crowds. Like, I notice when I rock smaller shows, I be all through the crowd. Literally, I get off if there is a stage, I get off the stage, I interact with the people. It's more intimate, more social, you feel a tighter connection. But when there's like a sea of people, it's hard to find a person to connect with. And I'm the kind of artist that likes to connect with you when I'm performing. And so I think the lack of that, I start stressing a little bit.
Have you ever bombed out on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, man. Like, forgot my lyrics?
Whatever you think bomb is.
Oh, okay. I was in L.A. This couple named Mike and Maria. They used to manage me back in the days. And shout out to Mike and Maria if y'all watch
Eminem.
Eminem. No, dope couple though. And me and this dude named Monstar, we had a show. We had a showcase. We were performing for Joe Jackson, for Michael and them. Daddy, right? He used to host these showcases out in L.A. So Mike and Maria flew us out to LA.
And rest in peace to Joe Jackson.
Man. And Michael.
And Mike.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So they flew us out there. We got all ready. I'm all dressed up, ready to go, get out there. Everybody's in this convention thing. Joe Jackson and a couple other big wigs from these record labels were all in the front row. And we had the microphones with the, they weren't cordless, you know what I mean? So I had the cords and shit. So they were all wrapped up, and I had these heels on. I was young, could barely walk. I still can't walk in heels, so shit, I don't know what I'm saying. I had these heels on, and I go to walk up. They call my name. I go to perform. He's looking at me. I'm looking at Joe Jackson. I'm like, oh, shit, that's Joe Jackson. Boom, fell out in front of got wrapped all up in the cords and the cable. I mean, all I could do was just lay there. They tried to help me back up. I mean, I was fucking devastated. Like, and then I go up there to try to do my shit, and I'm so fucked up that the fact that I fell in front of everybody, I forget the whole opening to my song. And I'm just like, and they just sitting there looking at me like, and that was one of my first shows.
Don't trip.
And I did. Flat on my face in front of everyone. And I had this dress on that kind of opened up, so my leg came on. I mean, it was fucked up. But it was a big moment for me, because it's that one of them moments is like, it'll either make you or break you. Is this really what you want to do?
Yeah.
Because some people, it'd just fuck you up so much, you'd be like, I'm never going to go through that. But I just laughed it off. I said, restart my shit, did my set, and went at it.
You know what Joe Jackson should have said when you would have failed? Where we at?
I'm happy he didn't say shit. He just sat there and looked at me like, baby.
You know what's so cold about this new culture of ladies, though? they would have fell on the floor and started freaking the motherfucking floor.
Twerking and shit.
And it would have brought the whole you know?
You be seeing the videos? They fall on their head and
they start bouncing it. I mean, it's out of control. Am I lying though?
They played it off though.
A chick will fall, do the splits, and just get that motherfucker lit. It's like, damn.
And it lets you know that ain't it either.
Hey, I gotta ask you something. Kind of on the subject, but a little bit off the subject. What do you think about that lady that got evicted because her daughter was twerking in the pool of an apartment building?
Wait, what? I didn't hear about that.
Okay.
I'm late. What happened?
You heard about it?
Really?
So this what happened. There's an apartment complex. I guess like a teenager was in an apartment complex. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got to give a shout out to the Amtrak. You know, we need tickets. Yeah, so the young lady was twerking in the pool, so the family got evicted for that. What do you think about that?
Why? How, on what terms, what are you being evicted for?
They said twerking in the pool.
But I mean, what law did she break, or what in the contract is written in your contract for a residential that would break that rule? What is?
I don't know.
It's just another way to.
Is twerking culture out of control?
I mean, it's to each his own. If that's what you want to do, you should have every right to twerk. I mean, you ain't hurting nobody. It's a dance. When at the end of the day, it's a dance, right? But I feel it's just another way for people to put us out on the streets to take away our rights. It's some bullshit.
So did you see that time when that lady, when they was at that restaurant and the black guy who was the owner cut the music off and said, if y'all want to twerk, y'all can get the fuck out. I didn't pay all this money to get y'all a nice place for y'all to sit up there and come do this unclassy shit. Did he have a point or doesn't he have a point?
No, it's hard for me to speak on stuff like that. I mean, I think there's a time and a place for it, but it's like if you holding events and there's some music being played and stuff like that, you can't really dictate how people dance. I mean, you're dancing, right? I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
I think some people just take the shit too serious.
Gotcha. Relax
a little bit.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Have fun, loosen up, let these kids do what they do, or whoever do what they do. As long as we're not being violent and hurting each other, like, I don't give a fuck what you doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's turn up. Let's have fun.
For sure. I don't know. I think it's a place and time for everything.
There's a place and time for it.
And plus, I'm still kind of from the old school. You know what I'm saying? I do. I'm still in a different guise on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do I like it? Yeah, I think it's cool sometimes. But I think that some of the little kids and stuff like that, when the moms do it in front of them and then the little girls are starting to do it, I think that it's starting to spill over into the young generation. And that shit need to be watched.
That shit needs to be watched. Absolutely. Because that's why, and I don't condone doing stuff like that. I'm very careful about what I do around my daughter.
Gotcha.
Even when it comes to the music that I make, like, for the most part, if my baby can't listen to it, I don't really want to release it.
Do you curse a lot in your music?
I do. Now, I got a mouth like a sailor. I do. And I tell my daughter, don't follow mommy in this, okay? Mommy has a bad, she goes, you just talk so bad. And I'm like, but there's worse things that parents do in front of their kids, you know what I mean? And my one fault is I do have a bad mouth, Yeah. How
long you been doing that?
Yeah, I've been cursing since the beginning of time. I've always had a bad mouth. That's kind of been my and I tried to work on it, but shit, I got a bad fucking mouth.
Do you worry about your daughter picking up some of these habits and taking them to school? I sound like a fucking square.
Right. You know what? My baby is a square. Like she don't like that shit. And that's why I'm kind of proud. Like I did something right. You know what I mean? Like,
how old is your
9?
You know what's so funny? My son was the same age. He doesn't like me cussing, so we had a little game where I owed the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, a quarter every time. You know what I'm saying? So one time he got in the car, I said, Levi.
His name's Levi. That's cute.
He said, I said, Levi. He didn't say nothing. I said, Levi. I said, do you hear me talking to you? He said, I'm not talking to you. I said, L, what? Why you ain't talking to me? He said, because the other day you said you would stop, and you always use bad words. By the way, you owe me $1.50.
I sound like my baby. I sound like my baby. Yeah. But you know what? I'd rather my baby be a square and her worry about what I do than it'd be the other way around.
Oh, for sure.
Because these kids are being exposed to so much stuff.
Yeah.
And just to bring it back to where we're talking about, like that twerking and all that, like, no. We don't do that. And when I have my friends over and I don't do that in front of my baby. I don't want, that's one thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't know.
And I think that's where the restaurant owner or whoever was talking about in the public setting. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it is kids watching.
Yes.
You know, at the pool.
Right.
It is little kids watching, you know?
I just don't think that's means for being evicted. I think that should be
eviction is heavy.
Yes. I think it should have been pulled aside and maybe a warning, you know? Like, if this shit continues multiple times then, but not just like...
I'm sure it probably built up
to that, right?
You know,
if that's the case, then if they have multiple warnings, well, then you gotta. Your twerking can't fuck up your means of living. You know,
okay.
Some people got addictions to the shit, and you can't lose your job over it. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be realistic.
So, what is your biggest song to date?
My biggest song to date. I think the one that got a lot of attention was my first one was YFN. That one, YFN and She On Me. She On Me topped number 2 on the Billboard's iTunes top 50 and Amazon Music top.
So is that the one
charted? She On Me, the one that we talking about now.
Yeah,
that one charted.
So is that the one that if you could do for Joe Jackson right now, you would do for Joe Jackson?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That nigga might wake up out of his grave.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah. Joe, Papa Joe.
Papa Joe.
Papa Joe. I'm telling you, yeah. That one got and me and 12, shout out to 12s right here, DJ 12s.
Yeah, shout out to 12.
Man, that's family right here.
Shout out to 12.
He's gonna help me. I'm not the kind of artist that's like, oh, I'm gonna do this shit by myself and not ask for help. Like, everybody needs help. And
that's right.
I'm not too afraid to say, hey, this is all I can do by myself. I need help. So I reached out to 12s and was like, man, let's come up with a plan and let's see how we can execute together and benefit together, you know.
Are you signed?
No.
Okay. Do you have your own label?
I do.
What? Talk about that a little bit.
I do. So I co-own Eargasm. Music group.
Dope.
Me and Jason Gilbert, we started Eargasm 20-something years ago.
And who is Jason Gilbert?
One of my best friends, a music genius. He's been in the industry a long time producing. He's a producer.
Oh, he's a producer.
He's a producer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, worked with a whole bunch of people from Justin Timberlake to Kanye to. He's worked with a lot of people, and me and him decided to link up and get back into it. We kind of started the in together a couple decades ago, and then we took a break together. I went and got my bachelor's degree in music.
What?
And then, yeah.
What'd you say?
I got my bachelor's degree.
You know what I'm about to say, right? I like that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
For sure.
And I feel like anything that we do, we should be educated, right? In whatever field we're in. So I got my bachelor's degree.
Now I want to ask you about because I'm in school and shit like that, and I like to see college graduates. Mm. So when you say that you got your bachelor in music, what does that entail? Does that mean you know how to read music, write music, industry? I mean, break this shit down.
So my degree specific is in applied sciences. So it's the science behind music. So it's how to run the boards, like the SSLs or the Neves, the big.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to talk to me like you talking to them, because the people at home like, what the fuck is an SSL?
Okay, the big analog boards, the big ones with the flying faders and
gotcha,
stuff.
okay.
So how to build your studio and how to sonically set it up, the science behind it, so making sure that everything mathematically lines up for, so how the speakers are, how the soundproofing is, how everything's ran.
So it's a little man inside my head, and he wants to ask you a question. So are you an engineer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Considered an engineer.
You hear that?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, you hear that, little man?
I mean, because that was part of our classes. We had to take all the classes to learn how to do all the routing, right?
Okay.
We had to build. That's where the word engineer comes from, is people forget that. Now mixing all in the box, everything's digital, right? But a real engineer back in the days used to have to build their equipment. We didn't have all of this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm talking about putting together the motherboards, down to the chips, everything.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Now I got to tell you a fact about a famous person. Did you know Flavor Flav knew how to play like 15 instruments?
Really?
Yes. A lot of people don't know
Why
that.
don't we see him doing that?
Because he's getting a lot of, what'd you say? He's a master pianist. Yep. Chuck D said that. Chuck D said he could play like 15 and 8 proficiently, which means that a motherfucker just might be able to do things 15 really good.
Right.
But then the other 8, he probably
mastered it.
Yeah, he could write and read it or something like that. You know, because music is a language.
Yep.
Some motherfuckers could talk, but they don't know how to write or read it. But they could, communicate and shit like that.
Right. I failed that class. So I can't read music, but I can just play it freestyling. But I cannot read. That class fucked me up. I failed it, had to take it again, barely passed it. Thank God I passed it enough. But yeah, I can't read music.
Okay. Was it hard?
I just, it didn't click for me. And I think it either takes more time or for a certain part of your brain to work for that shit to work. And it didn't click.
And if you could read, write, and be a master at playing any instrument, what instrument would that be?
Probably piano.
Piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I love playing the drums.
Okay.
I got a drum set at home. I play. I have a piano. I try to play.
Yeah.
I don't sound good. But if I could learn how to really read and master it, it would be a piano.
Okay, and real quick, before we get back into your music, I got to ask this question because this is a hot question. Out of all the rap producers, Manny Fresh, right? Do you put him in the top 10 hip-hop producers of all time?
Top 10? Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Wait.
I don't know. I don't like these questions when they like, who's your favorite? It depends on like which era we're talking about.
Well, Manny Fresh is a specific era.
Oh yeah, okay. So like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like do you think?
Then yes.
No, but all time. This is what I'm asking. Do you think his body of work constitutes him into being in the top 10? Did he fuck shit up enough from the bottom of the 90s to the early 2000s enough to be solidified in the motherfucking Hall of Game?
You caught me because every song was slapping back then. Slapping. Yeah.
Do you feel the same way about Swiss Beats?
I just watched the thing on him.
Because Swiss Beats and Manny Fresh are kind of interchangeable. One is Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Because they came out at the same time. You got DMX, Jadakiss, Rough Riders, even all them niggas versus Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Hot Boys, and all them niggas. You got the South
you got
versus
the East Coast.
Motherfucker the East Coast.
Right.
Keeping it lit all the way.
Yeah. For the East Coast. Him for the East Coast, yes.
Gotcha. And does this guy, what was his name again that you said that was that you were in partnership musically? JG. Does he make your beats?
A lot of them.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. You got any big features?
Man, that's what I'm working on right now. Are some big features. I mean, everybody I work with right now is really local.
That's cool.
I mean, we got legends out here. I think to me, they've been in the game for so long. They deserve the title being called legends, like Fab.
Definitely. Shout out to
FAB.
Hey, look, shout out to my nigga Stanley. Stanley.
Yeah. Me and Stanley, we work. So
hit a slim.
With La Rue.
Yeah, you moved to A-Wall. She moved to A-Wall.
La Rue. That's my boy right there. I'm the only one that still call him La Rue too.
Hey, that's a cool motherfucker though. I think that, did he say that? Did that nigga? Hey, watch this. Let me be ignorant. Did that nigga say his name was Lawrence? Is his name Lawrence? Yeah. Shout out to the other L.
Yeah. 40.
40. Okay.
Bo, Marvelous, Tay, those are to me, these are all legends.
You know what? I'm glad you said that word again because I want to know something. How do you define legend? What makes a legend a legend?
I think somebody who's just been in the time that they've been in the game, right? I just don't think everybody I've listed, I feel, aside from 40, has not really gotten the recognition that they deserve. I'm gonna say that right now.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh,
So
it was hella fast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Those are called express tickets. That motherfucker just.
That was hella quick.
So this is what we just talking. We building. It's called building. We just adding on. So are you saying that the time that they've been in the game, when you say time, are you saying longevity?
Longevity.
So in your opinion, somebody had to be in the game a long time to be a legend?
Yes.
So Biggie
I think
Smalls,
that's a definite.
Would Biggie Smalls still be a legend, even though that he only had 2 albums? Like, is he still a legend?
But did you see the build up to it though?
But we didn't know the build up.
We didn't know right till after the fact till we started seeing. But I think that's a definite prerequisite for being a legend. Yeah.
Long time?
Yeah.
You know what I think?
And he was cut short. Impact.
See, I was gonna say that. I like how he stole the words out of my motherfucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? Impact. Because Jesus Christ only teached 3 years.
Right.
But his birthday.
Right.
Is lit.
But look at the impact.
The impact.
It's still.
I think it's impact.
It's still his impact is still makes it legendary. Right,
I don't think somebody had to do something for, like, prime example. If I was your friend, right? Of course you would say, "Hey, is Lawrence my friend?" Yeah, man, I've been knowing that nigga 20 years. Yeah, that's a long time. But time doesn't really have anything to do with being a friend. It just gives you more time to be one.
Understood. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I do totally understand. But they're legends to me. They're people who I grew up listening to way before I even started working with them. So when I started working with them, it was like, wow, and then having the opportunity to become really close friends and damn near living with some of these people. But I think the impact that they've had on the game. I mean, a lot of the people I've listed helped in one way or form shape a certain sound.
Yeah, definitely.
Mob music, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So people that have that impact and that help create sounds, I think, is legendary. The way that they carried themselves, and they're still doing it. Even though music has changed so much, they're staying true to themselves and still carrying on that legacy.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So to me, that's
the
one thing of way of saying legendary.
For sure.
In my head, I think we all could have different.
You know what's crazy though, because E40, right? E40 does not get enough credit for how lyrical he is and how good he can tell stories.
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that E40 is one of them rappers that could tell a tight ass story in one verse. Right. You know how usually it takes you three verses?
Right, 3 16s, right.
Have you heard Snap Your Fingers? Remember that song, Snap Your Fingers? Who's there?
Yeah.
Did you hear 40's verse?
By yourself. Let me see. Yeah.
He talked about getting drunk too early in the day and got fucked up. I mean, it was beautiful, though. I said, damn, that nigga 40 be going, man.
Yeah, no, he go hard. He's super, and he's different.
Yeah.
You can't say that nobody else
It's acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste, though.
But you know what's crazy, though? Because most rappers that are really, 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 really good at what they do are all acquired taste, most of them. I mean, DMX barks. Like, man.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Right. And a lot of people's like, oh, that's aggressive. But it was sonically, it was so different.
Yeah.
You had to appreciate it.
I mean, it's kind of dope that Snoop is a different dog than DMX.
Right.
But they're both dogs.
But they both dogs. Right. True. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of my boys don't get enough of their credit.
What are you gonna do to make sure that you get your credit?
Honey, I'm working on that right now. I set up, try not to have pity parties for myself, you know what I'm saying? Because this is all part of the process. But I don't feel, and I just haven't made a big enough impact yet.
It's gonna come.
That's it. I just need to keep working. I need to keep practicing my art, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And find my pocket.
What is your super strength as an MC or artist?
I think I could do multiple things.
Gotcha. You know what's crazy?
Songwrite, produce.
Yeah.
I have my own studio. I record myself.
Okay.
I kind of, I do all of it. All my videos, I direct my videos.
Okay.
I cast all the choreographing. I damn near dress everyone. I direct it.
You know what you sound like? A manager.
Yes, I need one.
That's what you damn near sound like. You damn near sound like somebody that's going to do really good, but you're actually almost prepping somebody else.
Right. Right.
You sound like Mr. Miyagi, just a girl version.
I do a lot. I wear a lot of different hats, but I want to kind of delegate some and give other people that role. And I want to get back to being an artist again.
Would you call yourself a micromanager?
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you hard to work with?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Mm-mm. I'm a people person.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
I'm a Pisces, so I'm very emotional, and I can read people well. Like I know, I'm not an asshole at all. I usually am the one that gets my feelings hurt. You know what I mean? Like I be too nice.
But you can't really say that you're not an asshole. Somebody got to say that for you.
Right.
That's like a nigga walking down the street thinking, oh yeah, I got a big. That's like a nigga walking down the street like, yeah, I got a big dick. That's for somebody else to say.
Somebody's saying it's Mac Mall's birthday. Is it Mac Mall's birthday?
It's John Kravanis's and Donald Trump's.
How random. Why do you know this?
Because somebody told me today. But if it is Mac Mall, shout out to Mac Mall.
There goes.
Let me see. The other Lawrence.
What's up, Rue?
For sure.
Is it Maul's birthday? Happy birthday, Maul!
Happy birthday, Mac Mall.
I was just with him a couple weeks ago. We had a show in Vallejo.
You know what? He's another underrated artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's sick with this. That shit kind of defined the mid 90s. Like when that shit came out, that shit was raw than a motherfucker.
Yeah. Again, acquired though, right? That whole Thiz sound was very
But this before
unique.
Thiz. This before Thiz. It's like 94.
Yeah. Those are my boys too. I used to cut up with Dre and with Doobie or Sugar Wolf, Major, with Doobie and them and Big Ralph and that. Oh, we used to cut up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you feel like women, when they're making music, they have to sell a lot of sexuality just to get to where they need to be at?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Don't get me started.
No, I want to get you started. You're on the show to talk about it.
I start pissing people off when I start talking about this. But there's a lot of women that I work with that's their forte, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Speaking of rapping forte, no, I'm just playing. No,
shout out him too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do. I do feel that we've been putting a box lately. That if we're not popping our ass and wearing skimpy clothes and sleeping with God knows who, I feel like we don't get a lot of recognition. And I'm the complete different. I'm the opposite. I dress tomboyish. I'm a little more thuggish, you could say. I'm not super feminine. I don't go sleeping around. I've never done that. I ain't finna fuck my way to the top. I will work my ass off every day before I go.
So you've never had a significant other in the industry?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I do. I feel that if we're not doing that, then a lot of men don't look at us. They're like, next. We don't want it, without even giving the chance to just hear my music. It's just even visually, not next.
Yeah.
But then I've actually run studies on this, and with having women, pop up on their feeds and stuff, and they naked, and before they even hear they song, oh, she dope. I'm like, you ain't even heard her shit yet. She sounds like ass.
What do you think? Okay, but what do you think actually makes a female artist dope?
What makes her dope?
Yeah.
What makes a male artist dope? What do you mean? There's no difference.
Want me to tell you?
If you the shit, you the shit. Either you can rap or you can't.
But the difference,
it's simple.
But the difference is
what I look like.
But the difference is this though. When it comes to male rappers though, or male artists though, there is hella different flavors of them and different types of them. You don't hear no woman that has a different style like E40. You don't have no woman that got the stop and go like Keek the Sneaker barking like a dog. They all kind of sound like different versions of the same person, but some are tighter. What's the name? Lauryn Hill is way different.
That's your perspective, though. That's a generalization right there. You can't say that because that's not true.
No, but this is what I'm saying, though. I didn't say they wasn't dope.
You said that we all sound the same, basically, just different pitches.
No,
that's pitches. Literally, different volume is what you.
I said no. They sound similar, but some are tighter than the others. Is what I meant to say.
Same thing.
Yeah. Like Lil' Kim was hella fucking raw, but was she selling pussy?
At the end, yes. When she first got to it, she just like Nicki Minaj. Like Nicki Minaj. Did y'all hear her early shit?
She came out with the name Nicki Minaj.
No, Nicki First of all, she dressed like a little boy. Okay. She was super butch.
Okay.
She was butch.
But the thing about it is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. People gonna go to heaven because they
thanks to them women, they changed the whole fucking game now. That's where I'm going with it. Is now that us women that don't rap about it and don't put sex out like that have to work harder to get a man's attention because this
Lauryn Hill was the most different to me. Matter of fact, in the 90s was the most different and unique MC, and she wasn't selling sex. She was selling more like love. She wasn't selling being promiscuous.
You just said, listen to the date you just listed. If she were to come out with that shit right now, it would be a whole different acceptance.
So watch this.
It would be harder if I would have came out back in the 90s. With how I make my music, I would have got in easier than what I think where I'm trying to get in right now, where the industry's at.
Do you think that I gotta ask you a question? Do you think that rappers are doper now or in the 90s of the era that we're talking about?
It's just a different sound. I think all across the board, it's all dope.
Who are the top 10 rappers of all time?
Who?
If you had to say.
That question. Pac.
Okay.
The Brat.
Okay. That's dope.
40.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Lil Wayne.
Okay. Is Nas? Is Nas in it?
Lyrically, I honestly wasn't a big fan of him.
Okay.
I think for the Caucasian crowd, Eminem.
Okay.
That's 6. Mm-hmm. Who am I forgetting? Not Lauryn. Oh, Missy.
Missy Hill.
Missy.
Dope.
Missy Elliott. Yes. Who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. All right, we'll put. I already said Brat. Yep. Okay, we can say Nas. I mean, he was lyrical. Okay, I got
Biggie?
2 more.
Is he one?
We can say Biggie. All right, I gotta come back with another female. Oh, what was her name? Queen Latifah.
And they're all from the 90s except Queen Latifah. That was my point. You just proved my point. You just proved my point. You named one person that was from 89. But everybody that you said was from the 90s. You said it. I didn't suggest it. The only person I suggested was Nas. You ran your own list, baby.
I did. Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
I did that to a nigga at the homeless encampment about hoop. LeBron James, he played against harder competition. I said, okay, well, who are your 10 best? Nigga, Kobe, Shaq, Jordan, Magic, Bill Russell.
Steph wasn't in there?
Nah, he just ran a list. I said, well, by your own definition, the niggas that you just named are from the same era that the niggas that he didn't play against.
Right.
Shit was hard back in the 90s.
Right, yeah. It was a whole different way, though.
It was. But, the great thing, though, now is that you could actually put yourself out as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the exposure, because of social media and stuff?
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's not always a good thing either, because now the fucking market is flooded with a whole bunch of bullshit.
So what do? What's the answer?
Beat not the competition, but try to stand out than what's all
and that's
being flooded, being different.
And that's what I was saying about the women 5 minutes ago. That's what I was saying about the... Can I tell you a secret real quick? How you came in here with white shoes, white that, that's hella tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're an attractive woman. If the average woman was attractive as you, she'd come in here with her motherfucking ass hanging out. Now, let me tell you another thing. One of the most attractive women on Instagram, like my lady, she's attractive, right? She's dressed, full and shit like that. That's attractive because you got to give a motherfucker something to wonder about, right? So if a chick was hella fine but rapped about being a virgin because she was a virgin, she's selling sexuality in a different way.
Right.
When you said Missy and Lauryn Hill, Missy and Lauryn Hill are different than Trina, Eve,
Yeah.
Lil Kim. I'm not saying they're whack. I'm saying they're dope, but they're different levels of who may be a little bit doper. All them that I just named, like Eve, Trina, and all them, they're at the top of what they do. And there's a bunch of imitators, or not imitators, people that want to follow in their footsteps and look up to them that's just not as dope as them.
Right. I just feel just with all the sex and stuff. I mean, I feel us female artists are really sometimes misunderstood, misrepresented, and just not given enough credit for our art. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's harder, and that could just be me being in my head. But I know from what I've experienced working in the industry, it's just harder for women. But it just gives me more motivation to keep going harder and making sure that I do stand out in my own different ways, you know, and I refuse to do something that I don't want to do.
That's dope.
I refuse. If it means that they like, well, Thug, if you're going to get a record deal right now, would you be walking around this motherfucking naked? Nope. I guess I ain't getting no record deal right now.
Yeah.
I'm not finna sell out. It's not sell out. I'm just not going to conform and do something I don't believe in doing.
That's right.
You know? So I'm going to be that one chick out here that's representing for all the other women that don't want to strip, that don't want to be talking about shoving the thing into the back of their dingling throat and all that shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. Even if that's what you do. What
she did the dingling.
Stuff that little thing in the back of the dingling thing in my throat. What do you, wait, when I heard that, I said, what the fuck is that? Are you kidding? It blew my whole head back. I was like, that shit is crazy. Like, no, I'm not finna rap about that. I can still rap about having sex. I do all the time. But I ain't got to be shoving that shit down your throat. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, like, it's got to be tasteful. There's a time and a place for all of it. I want to be that woman, that one female artist that can stand for the other women that don't want to do that. And for
that's
them
dope.
to just be like, she dope for standing for what she believe in. Respect her. You know? Give me my respect.
You know what I'm about to say?
Put some respect on my name.
You know what I'm about to say?
Say it. I like that. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So, are you a good storyteller?
I can be. Yeah, depending on the song. Like,
do you have songs that you tell stories?
Oh, yeah.
Could you give us a bar? Could you give us a short bar of that?
A bar? Oh, man. I think my song Bougie was kind of telling more storytelling. It's not really my style, though.
Okay,
you know, it's not really my style, but I think Bougie was more. That was I call that my East Coast. Like when I write songs, I kind of put them in boxes on like, is this a West Coast song or is this an East Coast song? What kind of flavors, or is this my Spanish song? Because I'm half Mexican, so I
half Mexican and what?
And black.
Okay.
So I do a little Spanglish and stuff like that.
Spanglish.
Okay. You know, Spanish and English.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do.
Say, get the fuck out of here.
Ay, carajo, déjame, pero. Yes, I do speak Spanish and I do some Spanglish stuff. But I think going back to what you were saying, I think Bougie is kind of like close to like storytelling, but that's not really my style.
Okay. So are you gonna have a whole album in Spanish?
Not a whole album.
That's the market. That's the market.
We're working on a project right now where it's Spanglish. It's kind of.
That's the market. That's the market.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. My partner, right? He has a white mom and a black dad. Nigga asked me for $30, and you know what I said? Nigga, you half white. It ain't no reason for you to be broke, nigga.
Oh my God.
You gotta play both sides.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about doing a whole Spanish album.
You got to drop a single. Every single that you drop in English, you need to drop in Spanish.
Never thought of it.
Why not?
I don't know.
But that's half of who you are.
True. Yeah, I ain't thought about it.
That's like this. Say like, I'm from Oakland, but then my grandmother lived in, let's just say like Louisiana, and I go back every summer. So I'm part from Louisiana. Right. But if I was a big rapper, every fucking time I dropped the clean ass single, I would get a nigga or one of my partners from Louisiana on it. It would be the California version and then the Louisiana bounce mix.
I ain't thought about doing all one in Spanish. That would be a different.
I mean, what? Just drop two of them.
Right. we'll work on something.
Yeah.
I get 12s to produce it.
For sure.
I'm working on something with Racadun.
Who?
Oh, Los Racas? No?
I've heard that.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that.
The Panamanian group.
Okay.
They dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Like in the Latin community, they heavy. But no, they got some hip hop shit they've been pushing around the Bay. Well, anyways, we were talking about the Latin stuff. Me and him are working on something right now that's gonna have that Panamanian Spanish.
I mean, that's your lane. To be honest, I see it.
It's.
I mean, you glowing.
I have to be very careful in that lane because, sadly, with some of the on the Spanish side of my family, it's kind of hard me being. They consider me just black. They don't consider right.
So.
Right.
So stand on it.
It's another. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I've been having issues breaking through.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, racism is really big, and it's like it's sad that they be racist of their own people. You know what I mean?
Want me to tell you something Joe Jackson would have said? Your family can't buy all the albums. Do what you need to do for the world, girl.
Right. No, I'm with it though. I'm with it. I'm gonna be mad.
Are you trying to go platinum?
I just don't know if it's gonna be all Spanish.
No. If you drop something in English, put it in Spanish. What do you got to lose?
That's food, right. That's food for thought.
What do you got to lose? Oh, like don't. Man, fuck that. But check this out though. Earlier you said that you was in a movie or you had something to do with movies.
Yeah.
Speak to that before we get out of here.
Oh, yeah. So I just worked on a project called Finders Keepers. Shout out to Stefan. He put it together, wrote the movie. We had Comedian Bud.
Shout out to Comedian Bud.
Shout out to my brother. Me and him starred in it. Wrote a lot of the material. I also did one of the songs for the soundtrack, the opening song to the movie called Get Money, featuring Silky and Heifer the Deaf.
She old school. Remember after that? Hell yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to
Heifer the Deaf. Yep. So
she old school.
Telling you, and remember Silky from back in the day?
Oh,
too?
for
She
sure.
on it, so us three are on it. We did some mob shit to it. The movie's coming out. It's going to be on all platforms. The soundtrack's already out on all platforms called Finders Keepers. And that's kind of going to be a new lane that I'm getting back into more seriously is the acting.
Okay.
Kind of got the acting bug.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go to LA and do these Netflix short series.
That's dope.
Yeah. I'm going to go out there and sit with the squad and kind of, sit with them while they're doing some of the writing, coming up with material for these new short films. And I'm gonna kind of dabble in that a little bit.
Can I give you some advice?
Yes.
Make sure you go down there with at least 2 songs in Spanish just to show your versatility.
Definitely to LA, huh?
You damn near in baby Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where I was born. Shout out Inglewood.
You know what? Before we get out of here, I got to tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
So, my significant other at the time, we was watching Sister Act with Lauryn Hill on there.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it. Uh-huh.
So, she said, Lauryn Hill is talented. Her kids probably watch her movies all the time. She said, honey, if your mama was a famous movie star, would you ever watch her movies all the time? You know what I said? Not if it was a porno.
Oh, my God.
You ain't fucking with me?
I can't stand you. Oh, my God. Y'all.
But yo, before we get out of here, tell me where they can find you.
Oh, y'all can find me at on IG, mostly on the Thug Misses. On our platforms, Thug Misses or Thug Misses 707.
Okay, for
or
sure.
the real thugmisses.com. Ooh, I'm old school. I got a website.
The real one.
The real one.
The real.
Not the fake one.
The real.
Camille. The real. Yes. Y'all fuck with me, though. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Thanks for coming out. I had a blast.
Thank you for having me. I had hella fun, too.
For sure.
We talk some shit, some good shit. Everybody is up here laughing at us, and then we're also...
For sure. Thank you, y'all, for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? That's my East Coast voice. Well, I am LD's.
Put that on yo, God. Yo,
son.
Yo, what's up, son?
Yo, well,
Let me stop.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Well, I am LD's, also known Lawrence One for another episode I Need to Know. And as usual, come on, you know what I want.